saying he had resolved not to get drawn into Hindu-Mussalman politics. PM Modi declared Tuesday after filing his nomination for UP's Varanasi Lok Sabha seat that the day he resorted to such methods, us din mein this and this. The statement was part of the PM's clarification in an interview with Network 18 that he never meant Muslims while talking about infiltrators and those with more children in his campaign speeches. I am shocked. Who told you that whatever one talks of people with one children, the inference is that they are Muslims? Why you are so unjust towards Muslims? Modi said this and this. The PM said having more children than families can afford to feed, clothe and education was a common problem among the country's poor irrespective of faith. 4 papers, chemistry, biology, English and general test of the Common University Entrance Test undergraduate scheduled for Wednesday for all Delhi centres were postponed due to unavoidable reasons at the last minute and rescheduled for May 29. The message was put on the National Testing Agency website and several students complained that no communication was received by them. Students were advised to download their admit card once again after 7 pm on Wednesday. Exams in other parts of the country including Gurgaon, Ghaziabad, Noida and Faridabad will continue as scheduled, while other tests for undergraduate admission scheduled in Delhi from May 16 to 18 will also take place as per schedule, NTA's notice said. The Supreme Court on Tuesday asked Delhi Development Authority to restore the greenery in Southern Ridge Shatbari area where hundreds of trees were felled to construct an 11-kilometer road from Chhatarpur to Sark University. The court ordered closure of the road. Appearing before the court, DDA Vice Chairperson Subhash Panda admitted that more than 400 trees were chopped. A bench of Justices A.S. Oka and Ujjwal Bhuyan said that this amounted to criminal contempt of court, as Supreme Court had earlier rejected DDA's application seeking permission for cutting the trees. ED on Tuesday told Delhi High Court that AAP would be made a co-accused in the next prosecution complaint again that the agency would file the Delhi excise policy case. ED's disclosure came while opposing the bail plea of Delhi's ex-Deputy CM Manish Sisodia in a money laundering case related to the larger matter. AAP said the intention behind the fake probe is to frame AAP, arrest its top leaders and crush the party. The case was built on statements of accused turned approvers, all of whom had linked to BJP, it said. Vaibhav Anil Kale, a retired Indian Army colonel serving as an observer with UN's Department of Safety and Security, was killed in war-torn Gaza on Monday. Kale, 46, survived by his wife and 2 teenage children who lived in Pune, had joined UN barely a month ago and was headed for European hospital in Rafah when his vehicle came under fire in Khan Yunis. Another UNDSS staff was seriously injured. It was not immediately clear who was behind the attack on the clearly marked UN vehicle. Kale is the global organization's first international casualty in Gaza since the latest Israel-Hamas conflict erupted on October 7, 2023. Condemning the incident, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres called a full investigation into it. He said humanitarian workers must be protected. Israel has reportedly launched an inquiry into the attack. The House of Municipal Corporation of Delhi was adjourned soon after meeting on Tuesday as BJP councillors raised slogans over the Swati Maliwal controversy. The chaos intensified as Mayor Shelly Oberoi expressed gratitude to Supreme Court for granting bail to Chief Minister and asked all protesting councillors to go back to their seats. I thank Supreme Court for granting interim bail to Arvind Kejriwal ji, she said. But BJP councillors gathered in the well of the house in larger numbers, shouting slogans more loudly and carrying a proposal on Maliwal's alleged assault. They demanded CM's resignation over the incident, shouting Kejriwal hai hai and Kejriwal istifa do. However, no motion could be tabled as Oberoi postponed all proposals, citing the Model Code of Conduct, and left the house within 2 or 3 minutes. Due to the disruption, a proposal of rupees 1100 cash subsidy to each of over 7 lakh MCD school students for buying uniforms, etc. could not be placed. An official, however, said the funds had already been released following Delhi High Court's directions, we had planned to withdraw the proposal. As on date, the rupees 94 crore has been sent to zonal DDEs for disbursement among students, and the 100% target will be achieved by June 15, he added. Once Oberoi left, some BJP councillors climbed on the mayor's podium with placards reading दलित मेयर को कुर्सी पर बैठाओ, दलित विरोधी केजरीवाल इस्तीफा दो. BJP accused AAP of unnecessarily delaying the process of election a Dalit candidate as the mayor as per the reservation schedule of Delhi Municipal Corporation Act. Of the 5 terms for the mayor's post, the first term is kept for women and the third for the reserved category. Although Maliwal had gone to Civil Lines Police Station to file a complaint, she left without doing so after receiving some phone calls. She had told the cops that she would return but had not turned up till late night on Tuesday. The former chairperson of Delhi Commission for Women has not been in public either. As far as Maliwal is concerned, she has done great work for the country and society. She is an old and senior leader of the party, and we all are with her, said Sanjay Singh, indicating that the party wanted to put an end to the controversy quickly, with Kejriwal all set to undertake hectic campaigning. CM has taken cognizance and AAP does not support such people. We want to make it clear, said Sanjay Singh. The cops have marked Maliwal's complaint as pending and no FIR has been filed. Police have sought legal opinion on whether they can proceed on the basis of the DD entry and PCR call. A protocol followed in many cases. The police brass meanwhile held a meeting on Tuesday evening to discuss the case. Police said they tried to contact Maliwal several times but she could not be reached. Sources said the cops were in the process of collecting CCTV footage from outside CM's residence. Prime Minister Modi is set to address a rally in Gonda, North East Delhi on Saturday, followed by another in West Delhi, Dwarka on May 22. On the other hand, a senior Congress functionary has said that the Rahul Gandhi is also scheduled to hold a roadshow or public gathering in the Chandni Chowk area on Saturday. Apart from Prime Minister's rally, Home Minister Amit Shah is expected to play an active role in the campaigning across the capital. Senior BJP functionary said Shah is likely to hold 2 roadshows in East Delhi and South Delhi constituencies. Shah's events are likely on Sunday and Monday. A senior BJP functionary said the people of Delhi look forward to Modi's rally as they have faith in his commitment. People know that whatever promises he will make will be fulfilled. You will see that there will be a wave in the party's favor after the rally. In the North East Delhi constituency, where the PM is set to hold his first rally ahead of the Lok Sabha elections in the national capital, BJP has given the ticket to incumbent Manoj Tiwari. On the other hand, the India bloc has nominated Congress youth leader Kanhaiya Kumar. In West Delhi, BJP's Kamaljit Sehrawat is contesting against AAP's Mahabal Mishra. Senior BJP functionaries added that the top BJP leadership would be present in Delhi this weekend. BJP functionaries said that there was a huge demand among candidates for UP Chief Minister Yogi's rally in their area. In the coming days, his schedule would be decided. BJP National President Jagat Prakash Nadda will hold a public gathering and roadshow too in the coming days, a party functionary said. Senior Congress functionaries said that besides Rahul, Priyanka Gandhi and Mallikarjun Kharge are also likely to campaign in Delhi. Aam Aadmi Party's Rajya Sabha member Sanjay Singh on Tuesday claimed that Chief Minister Kejriwal was arrested in the excise policy case for providing free electricity and water and for improving health and education. He urged people to answer to Kejriwal's incarceration by voting against BJP. Singh held 2 Sankalp Sabha in Uttamnagar and Vikaspuri assembly segments of West Delhi Lok Sabha constituency under AAP's Jail Ka Khwab, Jail Ka Jawab Vote Se campaign. AAP always works in the interest of the people of Delhi, but BJP works to loot the city. Singh said in one of the meetings, "We are working for the honor of soldiers, farmers, mothers and sisters while BJP is putting us in the jail." The Rajya Sabha member claimed. AAP has fielded Congress former MP Mahabal Mishra from West Delhi seat. Minister Atishi held corner meetings in various areas of Kalkaji to seek support for India bloc's Lok Sabha candidate from South Delhi, Sahiram. Atishi alleged that BJP was given 2 consecutive terms in the centre but it failed to deliver. She alleged that the prices of goods of daily needs had skyrocketed. She also accused BJP for failing to deliver on its promises of 2 crore jobs and ending corruption. The public is fed up with the dictatorship and rhetoric of Modi and BJP. Atishi alleged Minister Gopal Rai held a Sankalp Sabha in Badarpur of South Delhi Lok Sabha constituency. The examination will now be held on May 29-24. The revised admit cards will be issued for candidates appearing in centers across Delhi, NTA said. The change in Delhi was necessitated by unavailability of adequate infrastructure to deal with a high number of applicants and the failure of requisition a sufficient number of invigilators, which NTA attributed on the ongoing Lok Sabha polls. The decision came as a surprise because elections were announced nearly 2 months ago. The number of candidates is high, and to ensure they get their first choice city, an adequate number of centers with good facilities could not be arranged. The SOPs are important so that students don't face inconvenience during the exam. Another reason was many invigilators were involved in election duty and could not return from their May 13 polling duties. Therefore, the exams for May 15 had to be rescheduled in Delhi centers, a source said. CUT has been marred by glitches since it was launched in 22, resulting in frequent date changes for candidates. Last minute changes cause stress and confusion. How can they be rescheduled the night before the exam? Principals are notifying students in class groups to spread awareness, but most students are confused whether the exam has been postponed or if this news is fake. It is an unnecessary disruption for students, especially those from economically weaker sections who may not be very aware. Students are also wondering why the Hindi date says 1946, said Seema, a parent. The city is going to heat up in the coming days as the day temperature is likely to touch 44 degrees Celsius by Friday. A fewer stations in outer parts of Delhi may see the mercury crossing 45 degrees Celsius. Indian Meteorological Department data shows that the highest maximum temperature was 42 degrees Celsius on May 7 at Safdarjung, which is the city's base station in this season so far. The highest day temperature reported at any weather station so far this year was 44 degrees Celsius at the Sports Complex station near Akshardham on May 5. The Met Department has predicted that the maximum temperature may see a rising trend from Wednesday onwards due to clear skies and northwesterly winds, which bring hot air to the city. That mercury is likely to show a rising trend over the next few days. In absence of any western disturbance impacting the region and no moisture of rain, the temperature is expected to touch this and this. Delhi has not seen any heatwave conditions for so far this season. The condition of heatwave in Delhi will be fulfilled only when the maximum temperature touches 45 degrees or when the maximum is 4.5 degrees and more above normal temperature, said an IMD official. In summer 23, no heatwave was seen at Safdarjung. However, other parts were in the grip of a heatwave for 3 to 5 days. The year 22 saw the longest streak of heatwaves, 9 days in April and 4 in May. The maximum temperature is predicted to remain around 42 and 43 degrees Celsius respectively on Wednesday and Thursday. It is expected to hover around 44 degrees Celsius from Friday to Sunday. Delhi's air quality continued to stay in poor category for the second day in a row with an AQI of 234. The air quality is likely to remain poor for next few days. PM Modi on Tuesday celebrated the 38% turnout in Srinagar Lok Sabha constituencies as a validation of his government decision to abrogate Article 370 and said the polling percentage, the highest in 26 years, showed that the steps taken by his government were in the right direction and were bearing fruit. Modi, who was addressing a rally in Koderma in Jharkhand, said, if you were to ask me what has been the most satisfying element of elections, I would say the high voting in Srinagar. It is a vote of confidence in elections and marks an endorsement of the Indian Constitution. He said the enthusiastic participation of people had proved right his decision to do away with Article 370. It shows that the decisions taken by government are in the right direction and have produced results, he said, adding that the abolition of J&K special status has resulted in bonds being forged among people. PM's remarks reflected the satisfaction over polling in Srinagar. Though less than the polling in other parts of the country, it is seen and impressive by the standards of J&K, where fear of violence, boycotts and threat of retribution have been a deterrent for voters for decades. Even as the contestants in Srinagar reaffirmed their opposition to the centre's decision to remove the controversial provision, Home Minister Amit Shah interrupted interpreted the number as a sign of a growing strength of democracy in the valley. The Modi government decision to abrogate Article 370 is showing results in the poll percentage as well. It has enhanced people's trust in democracy, and its roots have deepened in J&K through the surge in poll percentage. The people of J&K have given a befitting reply to those who oppose the abrogation and are still advocating its restoration. I appeal to all to vote for decisive government that will continue to promote India's cultural heritage and develop infrastructure, infuse power into the farm sector and accelerate industrial growth, fortify national security, reform administrative and legal processes, uplift the poor and facilitate youth with new opportunities to build a developed nation, he further added. US warned India of potential risks of sanction a day after it signed a long-term agreement with Tehran for operating a terminal at the strategic US warned India of potential risk of sanctions a day after it signed a long-term agreement with Tehran for operating a terminal at the strategic Chabahar port in Iran that will see it investing $120 million in further equipping the port. India sees the Chabahar port as an important hub for connecting the landlocked countries of Central Asia and Afghanistan with its economy. US had earlier promised a narrow exemption for India to facilitate development of the port. Responding to queries at the media briefing, the US State Department said that anyone considering business deals with Iran needs to be aware of the potential risk that they are opening themselves up to and the potential risk of sanctions. We were aware of these reports that Iran and India have signed a deal concerning the Chabahar port. I will let Government of India speak of its own foreign policy goals vis is the Chabahar port as well as its own bilateral relationship with Iran. State Department Deputy Spokesperson told reporters, I will just say as it relates to the United States, US sanctions on Iran remain in place and we will continue to enforce them, he added. Leaders who have changed alliances being given a ticket to contest the elections is nothing new to in Indian politics, but the scale at which this was happened with BJP's list for Lok Sabha polls is unusual. Almost a quarter of the list of 106 of the 435 consists of those who have switched to the Saffron party at some point in the last 10 years. Of them, 90 joined BJP in the last 5 years. The highest proportion of such candidates is in Andhra Pradesh, where BJP has put up 6 candidates, all but one of them has came from another party between 19 and now. That includes switches not only from Congress and YSRCP but ironically even from its current ally TDP. In neighbouring Telangana, nearly 2/3 of the BJP's 17 candidates are imports from other parties, mainly BRS but also Congress. 6 of the 11 such candidates have joined BJP in the run-up to these elections. While Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are states where BJP has had at best a limited presence in the past, even in Haryana where it has been helping the state government for a decade, 6 of its 10 candidates are those who have switched sides from 14 onwards. 2 of them, Naveen Jindal and Ashok Tanwar, joined in the run-up to Lok Sabha polls. Next door in Punjab, over half of the party's 13 candidates have been drawn from those who were in other parties till not too long back. Some of them were in Congress but quit, along with Amrinder Singh, and became part of BJP when he merged his fleeting outfit with the Saffron party. Jharkhand is similar to Punjab, with 7 of the 13 having been members of the other parties till a decade or less back. In this case, the imports from JMM, Congress and the erstwhile Jharkhand Vikas Morcha, the most high profile of them being Sita Soren, sister-in-law of the state's former Chief Minister Hemant Soren. Perhaps the most surprising among the states with the high proportion of candidates who have switched sides is Uttar Pradesh, where BJP has been dominant in elections over the last decade. be it parliamentary polls or state assembly. Of the 74 BJP candidates here, not including one ally contesting on the party symbol, 23 have joined BJP sometime between 14 and now. That's 31% of the party's candidate in the state. WhatsApp. In the plea that WhatsApp and Meta filed to contest Rule 4 of the IT Rules 21, their lawyer told Delhi High Court that WhatsApp will leave India if they are told to break encryption. As per the law, major social media intermediators must disclose the originator of any contest when asked by a court or any other contempt authority. WhatsApp said it would need to store millions of messages for years to comply with this. It claimed that no country, not even Brazil, had put such a law into effect. According to WhatsApp, the traceability provision violates the basic right to privacy and it's unconstitutional. However, court stated somewhere balance has to be done and that privacy rights were not absolute in the country. WhatsApp has positioned end-to-end encryption as a fundamental component of its user privacy and data protection strategy ever since it launched the feature in 2016. It's interesting to note that end-to-end encryption has become a buzzword and is now frequently used to highlight the security of any product of this kind. People frequently think that between the two ends they are unbreakable. In July 17 opinion piece of the Daily Telegraph, the UK Home Secretary Amber Rudd stated that the real people are not particularly interested in security features like unbreakable end-to-end encryption that prevent government and criminals from accessing their messages. The discomfort of authorities persisted in different places. An open letter to Facebook was co-signed in October 19 by the US Attorney General, the acting US Homeland Secretary, the UK Home Secretary and the Australian Home Minister, requesting that the company halt its plans to implement end-to-end encryption throughout its messaging platforms. US President Joe Biden Tuesday unveiled a bundle of steep tariff increases as an array of Chinese imports including electric vehicles, batteries, computer chips and medical products, risking an election year standoff with Beijing in a bid to wow voters who gave his economic policies low marks. China immediately vowed retaliation. Its Commerce Ministry said Beijing was opposed to the US tariff hikes and would take measures to defend its interests, urging the United States to cancel the measures. Biden will keep tariffs put in place by his Republican predecessor Donald Trump while ratcheting up others, including a quadrupling of EV duties to over 100% and doubling the duties on semiconductor tariffs to 50%. The White House said it cited unacceptable risks to US economic security posed by what it considers unfair Chinese practices. We are not going to let China flood our market into cheap goods, Biden later said. The new measures affected $18 billion in imported Chinese goods, including steel and aluminum, semiconductors, EVs, critical minerals, solar cells, and cranes, the White House said. The US imported $427 billion in goods from China in 2023 and imported $148 billion to the world's number 2 economy as per US Census Bureau, a trade gap that has persisted for decades and become an ever more sensitive subject in Washington. China is using the same playbook it has before to power its own growth at the expense of others by continuing to invest despite excess Chinese capacity and flooding global markets with exports that are underpriced due to unfair practices, Biden economic advisor said. Biden opted to increase Chinese tariffs in areas his administration has targeted for growth. The rate on Chinese solar cells will double to 50%. The rate on certain advanced batteries along with critical minerals needed to build them will rise to 25%. Semiconductor tariffs will be doubled to 50%. Some of those increase will be delayed in an apparent effort to allow US firms time to ramp up production and find other sources outside China. Other tariffs will affect industries in important swing states, including heavy metals. Rates for certain imported steel and aluminum products will triple to 25%. Nobel-winning Canadian writer Alice Munro, whose exquisitely crafted tales of the loves, ambitions and travels of small-town woman in her native land made her a globally acclaimed master of the short story, died on Monday at the age of 92. A spokesperson of her publisher confirmed her death but did not immediately provide further details. Munro had been suffering from dementia for at least a decade. In 2009, she revealed she had undergone heart bypass surgery and had been treated for cancer. Munro published over a dozen collections of short stories and was honored with the Nobel Prize in Literature in 2013. Her stories explored sex, yearning, discontent, aging, mortal conflict, and other themes in rural settings with which she has intimately familiar villages and farms in the Canadian province of Ontario where she lived. She was adept at developing complex characters within the limited pages of a short story. Munro, who wrote about ordinary people with clarity and realism, was often linked to Anton Chekhov, the 19th century Russian, known for his brilliant short stories. A comparison the Swedish Academy cited in honoring her with the Nobel Prize. In an interview after her win, she said, "I would really hope that this would make people see the short story as an important art, not just something that you played around with until you had got a novel written." Her works included Dance of the Happy Shades, Lives of Girls and Women, Who Do You Think You Are, The Moons of Jupiter, Hateship, Friendship, Courtship, Loveship, Marriage, Runaway, The View from Castle Rock, Too Much Happiness, The Dear Life. The characters in her stories were often girls and women who lead seemingly unexceptional lives but struggle with tribulations ranging from sexual abuse and stiffing marriages to repressed love and the ravages of aging. Her story of a woman who starts losing her memory and agrees to enter a nursing home titled The Bear Came Over the Mountain was adapted into Oscar-nominated 2006 film Away From Her. Munro originally began writing short stories while a stay-at-home mother. She intended to someday write a novel but said that with 3 children she had never able to find the time necessary. Munro began building a reputation when her stories started getting published in New Yorker in 1970s. She had also won the Man Booker International Prize in 2009. Delhi Capital's next generation of batters is here with Jake Fraser, McGrath and Tristan Stubbs bringing it intimidating hitting through the second half of the IPL. Abhishek Porel on Tuesday showed he won't be left behind. Against a rather thoughtful Lucknow Super Giants bowling attack on a tiring Kotla track, Porel made up for McGrath's rare failure with a sublime 34 ball 58 to lay the foundation for Stubbs to close the innings with the unbeaten 57 as Capitals posted 206 for 4. The maturity of the two batters in their early 20s trumped the experienced LSG top order as Capitals finished the league stage with a 19-run win and 14 points. While defending the total, the experience of Ishant Sharma and Kuldeep Yadav knocked the wind out of the LSG batting despite Nicholas Puran's blazing 61. Arshad Khan's late charge of unbeaten 58 took LSG to 189 for 9 amidst Capitals' customary ordinary catching ability. Tuesday's result, however, has placed both teams on the verge of falling short of making it to the playoffs. Capitals have been spoiled by McGrath onslaughts upfront when the Maverick opener was dismissed for a duck at long on-off for the second ball of the innings. Bowled by left-arm seamer Arshad Khan, it seemed Capitals could fall behind on a surface that has regularly produced scores of well than 200 this year.